Hello! Today I'll be going over tips I use when doing my Fnaf designs. For some reason I think I'm qualified. When doing designs, the thing you should think about when first starting out is the style you want to use. There are three main styles you'll see someone use under the community, that being the canon style, fanon, and stylized. We will go over canon first because that's usually the most simplified version of people. The most common trait you'll see in canon designs are the lineless seams that the characters will have, but they will usually have a more stronger resemblance than the other two. Like for example, this is a Crying Child model, but specifically from FNAF World, though it could also be one from the minigame as well. Next is Fanon, which is usually a more simplified version of the canon design, but you can still recognize the character a lot more. Like this inner design has an open faceplate, but it does create creative liberties with the one leg as well as the wires. And the fact we don't have a button for the chest. And with the stylized version, you will have usually more creative liberties in the characters and how they are represented in your media. No matter what style you use, the main thing you should recognize and remember is how recognizable the character actually is. For example, this Chica design I have. At first, they don't actually seem like Chica or Susie or whatever you call them, but you can still tell resemblance with the colors and the wings, resembling at least some kind of bird. But I also took creative liberties with the hair accessories to put more depth into your character more. Which is our next thing, that is how much details you actually want to add to resemble the character. Like whether or not you want to add Funtime Freddy's small top hat or the small wings on Funtime Foxy. And if you do decide to do those small details, you have to make sure the character itself isn't that cluttered to actually make themselves more appealing to your audience. So, in contrast, all you need to really do is make sure the character looks well enough to be represented, but yet still recognizable, whether or not you want to stylize them more or take a more canon approach.